apps.
And so one of the key parts of Android is Google Maps for mobile. And now with Gingerbread, we are bringing out Google Maps for Mobile 5.0. And we have 100 million users that are active using Google Maps for Mobile, and we're really excited to look at this next generation of the product. And there's two key features in the new Google Maps for Mobile. The first is dynamic map drawing, and the second is offline reliability. And those are the two features that Dave and I are going to show you today. So let's go ahead and jump into an example. Let's go ahead and use New York City.
Okay, so let's see. I'll try and search for maybe Chelsea Market, which I've already got here. And then we get a search result. Now, by the way, I'm not on Wi-Fi, so I'm actually on the cell network just for extra effect. That's not by choice. So what you can see here is that if I pinch and zoom, you'll see a very smooth scaling of the map and very smooth scaling of the labels, because we're dynamically rendering the tiles on the phone. And it gives you a much smoother experience, much more fluid, feels much nicer. And one of the really cool features on this is that if I use a multi-touch gesture to basically drag the map like this, I then get a 3D perspective. And I can make another gesture like this to twist the map around and basically orient it into the perspective that I want to see.
And so what we're doing is we're doing something that we refer to as vector maps. So instead of downloading tiles that are part of the map that you're seeing, we're actually downloading vector-based information, which means we can actually smoothly pan and zoom without having loading. So you probably have had the experience of sitting there on Maps for Mobile and there's a gray spot on your screen, you're waiting for it to load, it's the piece that you need, it hasn't come down. What we're doing now, it actually allows us to load this up front. So let's go ahead and take a look at a specific building. Let's try the Empire State.
Okay, I'm feeling brave, so I'm going to try speech recognition. Let's see how this works out. Empire State Building. So now what's happening is we're streaming the audio to our servers, to our data centers, it does speech recognition analysis, returns the results. So a lot faster than typing. So my favorite feature of this version of Maps is the fact that it's got 3D building support. So we actually have building information, geometric building information for over 100 cities worldwide. So as I zoom in on the Empire State Building, what will happen is the buildings, not just the Empire State Building, but all the buildings around it will animate into position, like so. And then again, if I do the gesture that I did earlier to pan the map to a 3D perspective, you can now see the Empire State Building illustrated.
This is just the Maps app?
This is the Maps app on Android.
This is the new hotness in Maps. So two more things I want to show you. So again, if I use that twist gesture, I can now do a 3D panorama.
It works in Paris, but we don't have the 3D buildings yet in Paris.
Oh, so it's a canned demo?
No, we actually have 100 cities. Unfortunately, Paris is
not even the Eiffel Tower?
I know, it's killing us too.
It's on its way. I have one more feature I really want to show you. So you saw I was like panning around the Empire State Building here, so I can bring the phone back up, right? So I can orient it, find the nicest perspective. But you don't have to do it manually because this device has a magnetometer, a compass built in. So if I turn on compass mode, what will happen now is the device will animate and change the perspective depending on the way that I'm looking, like so. So this is a really cool feature of the command with subway and you're awesome. Which way am I going?
When you're done, I have a question.
Sure. So we're actually finished with that part of the feature. So this is the overall compass piece. But we should talk about the other feature, which is offline reliability. So because vector maps, offline reliability.
Okay.
And so
not offline Gmail, which would be
not offline Gmail, but offline reliability. So one of the cool things about vector maps is we're downloading in each case about 1/100th as much data as we used to, which means we can actually do things like 3D buildings, allow you to pan, zoom more smoothly, but also means we can store more information on the phone, which means that if you don't have a connection right then, you actually may be able to continue to use Google Maps because we'll have the information cached for you for the places you go frequently. So Dave, let's go ahead and do a demo of offline reliability.
So two ways to go offline. I can either go into airplane mode or connect to Wi-Fi. So I'll actually connect to airplane mode. Now what you see is I have no connection. And I have an airplane symbol here at the top. What you'll notice is that everything is still working exactly as before. And what's actually happened here is that we've intelligently pre-fetch the map information. And by intelligent, I basically mean that we've looked at the positions that you frequent most. For most people, that's like work and home. And we've pulled that data down on the client side. And so it means that when you start up the app, it's instantaneous, and the tiles are just immediately there. But also, if you have no network or flaky network, they'll also appear for you.
So like, for example, in your case, like you spend time in Seattle, in San Francisco, and now you're in Paris. So we would have the city maps for those cities already downloaded on your phone, especially in the locations in those cities that you tend to be in. So I think it's pretty interesting when you think about, we actually spend a lot of our time taking the infrastructure and getting ready for bigger and bigger data. I think one of the cool things that the Maps for Mobile team has done here is they've actually made their data smaller in the form of these vector maps. You can see just how powerful it is in terms of what it really allows with compass mode, with the 3D building, panning, zooming, and also being able to make maps work even when you're offline.
So can I raise your hand if you have a mobile phone and it isn't an Android phone right now, iPhone, anything else. So leave your hand up if you would consider